This is Radio Entrepreneurs. My name is Jeffrey Davis, and we're taking every day to talk to entrepreneurs, to introduce our listeners to entrepreneurs. Thank you to Alex Cooper and to Chris Gerald for putting it all together. Our next guest didn't have to come too far to get her today, and that's Rachel, my favorite name, because that's my daughter's name, Greenberger, of Food Soul, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I love the name Food Soul. So you gotta
explain that a little bit.
Well, it'd be nice. I mean, Food Soul right away says to me that food's got a lot to it.
Cool. I'm glad that resonates with you. Yeah, it's short for Food Solutions.
Oh, okay.
And it was a dream while I was an MBA at Babson. So
Right.
Very quintessential to the school and how it represents entrepreneurship. I was a second-year MBA, and we co-created it. My faculty advisor and I co-created it while I was still a student.
Right.
So
Can I ask who the faculty advisor was?
Yeah, Cheryl Kaiser.
Okay.
She's also the executive director of the Center for Social Innovation, which is relevant
Right.
to how we operate.
Right.
But it's short for Food Solutions, play on soul food,
Right.
and the idea of the sun, food being at the center of things. But glad you like it.
Right. And so what are you delivering? What do you make?
So we approach food and food systems in, I think, kind of a unique way. We really, from day one, have felt that everyone who eats food has a perspective on food, but that we can actually filter that through the lens of entrepreneurial thought and action, which is Babson's method, and show people how much they know and how much their perspective can be supportive of starting food entrepreneurs.
Right.
Because everyone eats and everyone at least participates in the industry as consumers. So we design ways of bringing entrepreneurs together with engaged eaters so that there can be these network effects and sort of the team sport element of entrepreneurship, which is not usually how entrepreneurship is represented. It's more sort of the lone warrior in the jungle.
Right.
We want to show where and how it can be a team sport.
So is this a for-profit business?
No, it's another way in which
It's a
it's kind
study?
of unique is it's a program that lives inside of Babson, but it's externally funded, so it's a startup. It's a Babson housed startup
Right.
inside the Center for Social Innovation.
And so describe to me, I'm going to be stupid, a typical engagement.
Yeah. So, well, we have one of our classics coming up next week. It's called the Quick Service Incubator. It's going to be a part of 7th Annual Babson Food Day. And the Quick Service Incubator looks like a rocket pitch, but the entrepreneurs are not pitching for businesses. They're not, they don't have slides. They're not trying to win anything. They're actually pitching who they are, why they're in the business they're in, and then a question, a legitimate strategic question that they're grappling with. And then the audience is broken into teams combined with guest experts to take 10 minutes to come up with 3 ideas of next steps, of next actions that the entrepreneur that they were assigned can take, and then those teams rocket pitch their ideas back to their assigned entrepreneur. So everybody gets to learn what everybody else is working on, everyone gets to hear everyone else's feedback, and it's useful both for the entrepreneurs who are promoting themselves in a unique way by asking for help, but also anyone else in the food business or aspiring to be in the food business gets to hear the feedback too.
But it's always food related.
Yeah, food, beverage. What I say is anything you put in your mouth that's not pharma, I consider to be food. So we have people in restaurants with services for farmers, beverages, snacks, you name it. You know, if it's related to the food system in some
Right.
way, they come to us.
Interesting. And why did you pick food?
Everything I care about in the world is connected to food, both good and bad. So
Right.
I kind of did an assessment when I got to Babson. Some professors said a lot of entrepreneurs are trying to solve their own pain point, and my pain point was broken elements of the food system. And Babson being such a creative, positively oriented place, it's, okay, well, what do you want to do about that in a good way? So I've been interested in the big picture of food for the last 7 years, and really look at where are the breakdowns and how can entrepreneurs enter and innovate in those spaces. And fortunately, food has become so hot and exciting in the time that I've been interested in it that I don't have to do a lot of convincing. There's a lot of energy and activity already happening.
So do you work for Babson?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So you're a staff member of Babson initiating this project.
Yeah, I direct Food Soul. We've done that for 6 years, and I'm also an adjunct lecturer now. I've taught food entrepreneurship as an intensive elective twice. I've just wrapped up the 2nd iteration last month.
Interesting. And do you ever get students who aren't, let's say, in the food category that want to take your class?
Yeah, definitely. Some of my students, so it's an MBA intensive, and some of my students just want to look at it as an opportunity space. There are certainly sector-focused courses at Babson, but we're relatively small, so there are a lot of courses where the focus might touch a number of industries. So this is a 1.5 credit opportunity to look at the industry and say, hey, I think I might want to go into food, or not, depending.
So have you been an entrepreneur yourself?
That's a really good question. I go back and forth with that, because in the traditional sense of the definition of an entrepreneur, I'm not. I've never started a business. I run this program that I co-created, but my intention was always that it live at Babson and have a home at Babson. If you look at the method of entrepreneurship, the life skills of entrepreneurship, the way Babson teaches it, then absolutely.
Yes, because you've created something that's new, but you didn't take the risk.
I didn't have another job.
Intellectually, you did.
I wasn't out
You were
on my
funded
own.
by somebody else.
Correct.
Right. Right. So do you have any entrepreneurship in your history?
I made a short film, which I
Right.
did fund, and I pulled together a crew of 25 people and used every scrappy tool in my kit. So, but that was not to have it be a business. That was just, I wanted to have that manifest, that vision manifest.
So moving ahead a few years from now, where would you like to see this evolve? Would you like to see other schools take up programs like this, or do you have the greater ambitions for yourself taking this outside of Babson?
Well, yeah, I think both are already in the works. I'm in conversation with other faculty at other schools that teach food entrepreneurship. We're helping each other figure out what those courses should look like on the curricular side. And then with Food Soul, we already have one of our, I mentioned the quick service incubator. One of our other signature models is called Community Table. And we now already partner at NYU in New York and with Branch Food in downtown Boston to offer those programs for other hubs. So I'm very interested in replication rather than scaling.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of things that are of the relevant size and leadership to that home market taking place in that home market. Everything we do is in person for the most part, because we notice that people show up more and lean in more when they're physically present.
Right, right. Rachel, if somebody wants to find you or support you with Food Soul, how would they do that?
Yeah, sure. So you can go to, the easiest way is to go to foodsoul.org, which points to the Babson website. My email's on there, my bio's on there, and you can sign up for our weekly news and just come to some of our programs. I mean, I think the best way, because we're effectively a community, the best way to get to know us and decide how interested you are is to come and attend one of our community tables or come to Babson Food Day next week. It's a nice half day. It's 3 to 7 p.m. Plenty of parking at Babson. And we pull out our biggest network for Food Day, so it's a really good chance to see us in action.
Interesting. And I assume you're interested in all food entrepreneurs to try to attend as well?
Absolutely, that would be great.
Jeez, and did you know about that with our food show? We do a food show, a dedicated food show on Radio Entrepreneurs.
Great.
So I want to thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Great, and continued success.
Thank you.
My name is Jeffrey Davis. This is Radio Entrepreneurs. I want to thank our listeners, and you will find Rachel on our website for the next 45 days. Plus, you will find a segment of this on our YouTube channel. We're going to take a break. Remind everybody, this is Radio Entrepreneurs.